Catalan Dragons against St Helens in Perpignan. This is the way the two teams lined up. Beginning with the Dragons, it was Greenshields at full-back, then they went Pello, Bell, Bale and Duport, Mogg and Bosk. The forwards, Guisset, Maguire and Carlaw, Tuxagas, Fakir and Bird, who is the skipper and loose forward, and on the bench, Ferriol, Muniz, Bentley and Casti. The coach is Kevin Walters. Now the Saints, Wellens at full-back, Gardner, Gidley, Wheeler and Melly. Price is alongside Sean Long. Up front, it's Graham, Cunningham the skipper, Hargreaves, Gilmore, Flannery and Pulatuya. And on the bench, Roby, Clough, Farsavalu and young Matty Ashurst for the coach, Michael Potter. Commentary from the Stade Gilbert Brutus, from Terry O'Connor, but first of all, Ben Pro.
Phil Bentham is the man in the middle tonight as Mick Potter returns to Perpignan with St Helens, needing at least a draw to reclaim pole position in Super League following Hull Kingston Rovers' victory at Wigan 24 hours ago. It's Catalan Dragons with the first use of the football, and Jerome Guisset, former Wigan of course, he will be particularly keen to do well against St Helens tonight.
This is going to be a real tough clash. Right up the middle of the park. I think St Helens are really going to try and target them up the middle of the park. They had real success last week when they played against the Catalan side, and I think it's going to be a real explosive game. Perfect conditions.
Casey Maguire's under pressure immediately as he puts the kick in, and that's fielded securely by Paul Wellens. Mick Potter, the real subject today. He masterminded Catalan's success on Saints' last 3 trips across the Channel. And in the opposite dugout this evening, it's only 6 days, of course, since the Dragons were humbled 42 points to 8 in the Cup at Knowsley Road, so not a great deal of time for Kevin Walters to turn things around.
And that's a big thing. How confident will they be after that drubbing last week against this Saints side? Mick Potter knows all the strengths and weaknesses about the players that he coached last year, and he's up against a real tough physical guy, but that's a shot.
Massive hit there from Jerome Guisset on Chris Flannery, who gets up to play the ball. I think the referee, Phil Bentham, has given a knock on here. So Chris Flannery certainly feeling that, and we said that Jerome Guisset would be fired up against St Helens.
Look at his head go back there. Flannery's head was rocked right back. Jerome Guisset knows he needs to control him round the middle of the ruck to slow the likes of Kieran Cunningham down, and that was a shot and a half.
That's given the possession from this scrum to Catalan Dragons. Thomas Bosk feeds it. Been worked out to Adam Mogg there. And now Greenshields taken down by a combination there of Francis Melly and Gary Wheeler, who continues in the centre for St Helens. Of course, you see a Soliola signed in that position this week for St Helens for 2010. Gary Wheeler continues though at the moment as Catalan Dragons on halfway.
He will really set Super League alight next year. See Soliola, a big powerful centre, and it'll be perfect for the way St Helens play the game. Imagine a 6'3", 18-stone centre running at you when you're on the front foot, coming off quick play the balls. And there's the first penalty.
Markers not square for St Helens, and so Catalan Dragons with a great chance via the boot of Thomas Bosk to find some real territory in this St Helens half. That's how close they are to the line, and it's that man Jerome Guisset who started this impetus really for Catalan Dragons. That's Greg Bird weaving, and Greg Bird returns to the side, and Bird trying everything he can to get over. It's Wellens and Sean Long who are there.
He is the go-to player for this Catalan side. A penalty from the St Helens team, but look at him, the strength of him. He evades 4 players, he tries to get the ball down. Here we go.
Missed that cup tie with a leg injury, Greg Bird, and they'd be pleased to have him back today as Greenshields is trapped. This now is Tuxagas, and Tuxagas within 2 or 3 metres there, and then forced back a little bit further by James Graham there, alongside Tony Pulatuya. That's Adam Mogg. Back on the inside from Thomas Bosk.
Needed to be a strong tackle out of Bryn Hargreaves.
Again, it was Guisset who was probing. Casey Maguire, they're camped on this St Helens line. Great start for Catalan Dragons, and it's Jamal Fakir. Last one. Well, that's the 4th, in fact, as Casey Maguire is put to ground. That's great work from James Graham, but it's a quick play, the ball, last one, and Adam Mogg puts a kick to the corner. It's been fielded, and it's the first try for Catalan Dragons, and Steve Bell has it. The kick on the last play was tipped back to Steve Bell, and the former Queenslander gets his third try of the season and gives Catalan Dragons the perfect start here in Perpignan.
Good play by the Catalan side. Real aggressive start. Adam Mogg gets out, he's so good. He gets out, he pulls the St Helens players up to him. Steve Bell it was who gets the ball down, but look at Adam Mogg. If there's a man who can weave a bit of magic for this French side, it's that guy. Vince Duport, a perfect pass to Steve Bell, who's in the right place. And you've got to be there to take them balls, but the pressure off this Catalan side in the first 5 minutes has been absolutely immense.
They've got the reward. It all came about really from the contribution from Jerome Guisset, who went close. There he is on screen now, the former Wigan man who's been pumped up, as we said, for this St Helens visit. It was his tackle that got them in possession to start with. He was close a few moments before, and then that tip from Vincent Duport giving Stephen Bell the first try. Thomas Bosch then over on the far touchline, as you see, looking for his 31st goal of Super League 14. A picture of concentration, and strikes it now. It's a great kick, and Catalan Dragons are 6 points ahead early on in Perpignan. Cunningham dances away, flat ball as well. Sean Long was alive to that, and he's crossed the halfway line for St Helens. Back to Cunningham. This is Leon Price now. Angled kick away from the fullback there, Clint Greenshields, who goes back to pick it up. It's gone dead though, and so Catalan Dragons now, as Bernard Gauche, the Catalan Dragons president there, watching on. Solid start from the Dragons. Gilmore with the tackle there, alongside Gary Wheeler on Tuxagas. Steve Bell tried to tiptoe away from Wheeler then. There's a St Helens man getting up groggily to his feet there. It's Gilmore, I think, in back players. Steve Bell finds Thomas Bosch, and then high-ish shot on Jamal Fakir there from Chris Flannery's. Not getting up here, Jamal Fakir, he's in some pain.
He fell awkwardly. Chris Flannery caught him there, but you see his left knee just gets caught. Kieran Cunningham over the top. I tell you what, that guy's, Jamil Fakir, is a real tough cookie. He'd run really hard and straight and strong onto that ball.
Paul Wellens again. The first line of attack for St Helens there. Carries the ball strongly again, having diffused that bomb. This is Francis Melly now. Fakir
going to the sideline. That is a big, big loss, that. Losing Jamil Fakir 12 minutes into the game.
How will Catalan Dragons respond to that blow? David Ferriol comes on, not a bad replacement.
No, another player who will definitely give this side a lift. Big, physical. Oliver Elmer not playing in this game. He's a massive loss to the Catalan side.
Kick from Sean Long. Bounces easily for Dimitri Pello, who thought about the offload there for a moment to Greenshields, but it was Chris Flannery who was in his face, and it was a good tackle. This is Greenshields now, trapped by Gidley. Sean Long comes in to assist there. And Greg Bird now.
And that's going to be an interesting point, that I think, Ben. Fakir doesn't look like he'll be able to return to the game. They've got Riles missing, Oliver Elmer missing. 3 real big enforcers. When it gets towards the end of the game, they're the sort of players who really do lay that platform for you.
There is Fakir. Jason Croker missing as well, Terry. That's another big blow for them. Doing it tough, Kevin Walters at the moment. Just 4 wins from 12 Super League games.
That looks like a real tactic from the Catalan side. Not bothered about kicking it dead. Look how tight and condensed they are. They're challenging Bryn Hargreaves to bring the ball back, win tackle 1. It's so important that you land on your front in the first 1, 2 tackles, so Kieran Cunningham can exploit people when they're retreating backwards.
heading towards the quarter-hour mark, and that try from Steve Bell, the only difference between the sides, converted by Thomas Bosk. Kieran Cunningham picks up though, and always dangerous when he's in possession. Still got the ball, Cunningham, and it's further wide from Price to find Pulatui. This is great play from St Helens, trademark play from the Saints, and Gidley puts the ball on the toe, it ricochets into touch, but a moment there, all St Helens needed to go through their attacking repertoire.
He tries to get that little flip pass, puts it onto his foot, but that's how difficult Kieran Cunningham, when the team's going backwards and they're retreating, you're not set, you can't control the speed and the strength of that guy in your picture. Matt Gidley's got a bit of a problem.
Can you fix that up now? Okay.
Running repairs for Matt Gidley.
It's a quick one, yeah?
This St Helens side, Ben, will attack from wherever they are on the pitch.
That's fine.
As I say, if the defence isn't set, like a Kieran Cunningham, Sean Long will go at you, get the ball out wide to that guy, Matt Gidley, who's in your picture.
Yet to win a Super League Grand Final, he won a NRL Grand Final with Newcastle against Parramatta in 2001, but back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford to Leeds, so he desperate to win that particular title. Great work from St Helens in the shape there of Tony Pulatui. Drives Pello back, and then Vincent Duport knocks on. Catalan Dragons put themselves under pressure.
There's the mistake that you're hunting. Tony Pulatui was lined up there out of the scrum to try and dominate that first tackle. It's not fair, that, is it? When you've got Vincent Duport trying to take on the big guy in that green top. He looks like the Jolly Green Giant, he's that big.
Heads in, lads. Hang on, we've got a back row missing. Greg.
Look at that for a front row.
Okay, tight in
Graham
there, Greg.
in the middle,
Come on,
Pulatui. On the other side, Hargreaves.
This is Gidley then from the base of the scrum, and Gidley finds Gardner with a trademark pass. Has Gardner done enough to get over? He's muscled his way over Aidy Gardner. The first chance really that St Helens have had close to the Catalan Dragons line, and Aidy Gardner gets his 8th try of the season. They've not gone well in this first quarter of an hour, St Helens, but one chance, and Gidley with the flick pass, and Aidy Gardner is in.
Matt Gidley has the ability to come up with a play out of nothing. Dimitri Pello's got to be confident in what his centre's going to do there. He just didn't have any confidence in Jean-Philippe Bale. If he would have stuck on his man, Aidy Gardner, that wouldn't have been a try, but look at the skill by this guy. He skips out, he attracts the winger. This is just big, strong, powerful play by the winger, Aidy Gardner, to get him for St Helens. One chance and one try.
Likes to score against Catalan Dragons, a hat-trick against them in the Cup in 2006, a couple at Wembley as well in that Challenge Cup final a year later. A couple at Knowsley Road in a win over the Dragons 12 months ago as well for Aidy Gardner. And Sean Long with a difficult opportunity to level the scores. The crowd at the Stade Gilbert Brutus doing their best to put the number 7 off. As Fakir continues to be monitored. Sean Long bidding to add the extras, he's pulled it wide, so Catalan still lead. This is Adam Mogg. Now Ferriol drives in again. Cunningham and Paul Clough there to meet him. Ben clears on as well for Catalan Dragons, and Sean Long with a high shot there.
That was a high shot. There's no getting away from that. Sean Long really caught Greg Bird up top. I think he hit him just below the eyebrows. Oof, there it goes. He didn't miss with that one. He tried to get up in his face. You could see Greg Bird. As soon as he caught that ball, he was under pressure from Sean Long, but straight back to his feet.
Sean Long was actually off the ground when he effected that tackle. The initiative swings Catalan Dragons' way. Bentley. Now it's Guisset spinning, gets the offload away as well. That's great work, and a great flick pass from Bentley again, and this is Thomas Bosch in for Catalan Dragons. Well, we said that St Helens made the most of their opportunity from close range, and Catalan Dragons do exactly the same thing to extend their lead through Thomas Bosch. It's only his second try of the season, but it's coming at an important time in this first half for Catalan Dragons.
And it was that guy, Jerome Guisset, run really hard into the collision. Bentley with the neat offload. But look at this, Clint Greenshields breaks through the line, passes the ball to Thomas Bosch. All the pressure from St Helens side. I said that it was really going against them, but look at this, you run hard and something will come off, you'll get rewarded. Kane Bentley backed up, neat little pass out the back. Thomas Bosch passed it to Clint Greenshield, backs up round the back of him and gets his teammates and the Catalan side back into this game. What play from this French outfit.
Thomas Bosch, first Dragons player to 500 points earlier this year. Such an important player for them in the charge to the playoffs in 2008. He will bid to add his second success with the boot in a moment. Missed the Wembley final against St Helens, Thomas Bosch. The only try so far this year coming at Headingley. Now he's got one on home soil. More importantly, the Dragons 10-4 ahead. Bosch now to try and improve that margin. Right in front, it's his second success with the boot, and Catalan Dragons lead by 12 points to 4. Thomas Bosch with the try, Thomas Bosch with the conversion. This is James Roby. Now Graham. It's a high shot from Casti, I think. St Helens have bought some more cheap meters upfield here.
Now this is what the Catalan side can't do. They can't give penalties away. They've given away more penalties than anybody else in Super League. They really need to concentrate. If they've got a chance of winning this game, they've got to control the discipline.
Sean Long finds touch on this near side. There's two balls on the pitch momentarily as James Graham takes the ball up. Roby for Sean Long. Now Leon Price turns it into Paul Welland's path. Now Melly on the bounce, but they lost some impetus, but Francis Melly is quick, and as he's going into touch, just flings the ball back. Gary Wheeler in possession now for St Helens.
He done well to keep that in play. He was well on his way to the sideline. Gary Wheeler was backing up. Confident, confident, confident.
20 metres away, St Helens. This is Mari Fasavalu, another impact substitute for Mick Potter this afternoon in that St Helens dugout. Remember Mick Potter, first time since his move to Knowsley Road. Now Roby for Sean Long. Now Leon Price, they've got an overlap, and Paul Wellens is in. Paul Wellens slices through the Catalan Dragons defence. It's his fifth try of the season, and again, when St Helens are given the opportunity to attack close to the Catalan Dragons line, they come up with a four-pointer, and much of the good work that the Dragons have come up with has been undone here.
But it's come on the back of two penalties. Stephen Bell's having all kinds of trouble out there. The amount of players pushing up in support. There's three players that have got on the outside of Stephen Bell. He's got to look up. If he's short out wide, he's got to pull his players to him. Adam Mogg got caught. Stephen Bell had to go in. He was looking inside because all the Catalan players hadn't reacted to what was going on St Helens' left side. But that try's come about from the two penalties that Catalan have given away.
A couple of years ago, that Paul Wellens got 4 tries against the Dragons in a 53 points to 10 romp. He got a couple last week in the Cup as well. And Sean Long, who was unsuccessful with his first kick, now with a chance to narrow the gap to just 2 points.
You think Sean had plait his hair? It's a better shot of it.
Sean Long then to add the extras for St Helens. successful this time, and so the gap is just 2 points. Catalan Dragons ahead by 12 points to 10. Roby finds Sean Long, short pass this time for James Graham. St Helens looking to hit the front just 8 minutes from the break. Sean Long for Leon Price. Ran out of options. It was great defence from Steve Bell, right in the face of Leon Price there, and Greg Bird has it for the Dragons.
That was the better defence by Bell. On that occasion, he'd wrapped Leon Price out. The ball went forward. Catalan have got the ball back. Have they got anything left in the tank? 32 minutes. Giving away a couple of back-to-back penalties. And that's a sign that the forwards are tired. They call it get on board set. All the backs have got their hands on the ball, trying to do something, relieve the pressure. Here we go.
Great work from Catalan Dragons, and Pello has support on his inside. Thomas Bosk is going to get his second of the game here. It was a lightning break from Catalan Dragons, and they've done what St Helens do to so many teams. They extend their advantage 4 minutes from the break, and Thomas Bosk has his second try of the game.
Good work by the Catalan back line. Thomas Bosch looks up, sees St Helens are playing really tight. Jean-Philippe Baylor hands Sean Long off, get out the way, Matt Gidley. Dimitri Pello comes inside. Paul Wellens is attracted, and Thomas Bosch is there for his second try. That was real good work from the Catalan backline. Again, you see, look at the strength here. Matt Gidley comes in with the tackle. Bang, you're on the floor. Where are you going, Pello? Where are you going, Pello? Where's Wellens? Brings him to him. Thomas Bosch, as all good halfbacks, was there to back up and extend the lead of this Catalan side.
Great support play from Thomas Bosch. But Jean-Philippe Bayle, the real key to that try, his combination with Dimitri Pello there, just cut St Helens apart down their right-hand side. And now Thomas Bosch is successful with this, would put Catalan Dragons 8 points ahead. Thomas Bosch looking for another success. He's pulled the kick. Bentley for Jerome Guisset now. Clough effects the tackle alongside Fassavalu for St Helens. Bentley, and then they go back to this left-hand side, and Bentley has it once more. Greg Bird's going to try and go himself here. Held up. And then the ball comes out as Clough is in there. It's penalty, Catalan interference. They're not wasting any time, but the referee is going to call play back here. Controlled restart. This is Ferriol again, stands in the tackle, looks to deliver the pass. Bentley for Guisset, inching closer, Catalan Dragons. 16 points to 10 they lead. Bosch for Mogg. Mogg finds Greenshields. This is Bell now, and Steve Bell has an opportunity, does he? Taken down by Gilmore. That was an important tackle alongside Leon Price. Greenshields back for Mogg, turns it onto Carlo. Carlo trapped just a couple of metres short. Now Greenshields has it. This is Bell again. Steve Bell looking for the line. Steve Bell is over the line. Has he got the ball down? Gary Wheeler underneath him. Has he done enough?
Good movement by the Catalan side. Phil Bentham right on the spot. Wasn't going to go to the video referee for that try. Steve Bell using his footwork. The high fives all around. Push up, support. Greenshields with the pass. Bell with the footwork. Knew exactly where that try line was. And you can see him, he knows that he's not going to get there front on. He's got to spin. He hits, he spins, puts the ball over his head and gets that ball down for a try. Extends the lead yet again.
Got to congratulate Phil Bentham on his positioning as well. He was in the perfect place to see that Steve Bell has grounded that ball
That's a good effort, that. He was aware all the time where that white line was. He knew exactly what he had to do, and the Catalan fans are going mad.
20 points to 10 now in favour of the Catalan Dragons. That's why they're dancing in the streets. Certainly the streets of the stadium at Perpignan. 2 for Bell and 2 for that man, Thomas Bosch.
To be fair to you, Ben, they're probably dancing in the streets as well in the south of France.
Sure, they're dancing in the streets outside. There'll be a few more dancing as Thomas Bosch converts that, and Catalan Dragons have a 12-point lead. They lead 22-10.
Here we go. I tell you where there won't be any dancing, in the St Helens changing room at half-time. It's a good play, good confident start by Stephen Bell. St Helens have really targeted him in defence. They've really tried to get to Catalan's right-hand side, tried to put numbers on him, come up with a couple of tries, but St Helens are under pressure.
Steve Bell scored as many tries in the first 40 minutes here as he had all season. Doubled his try tally. The Catalan Dragons will just see this to the break. It's been a great 40 minutes for Kevin Walters. And Mick Potter's Catalan return has not gone according to plan in this first 40 minutes. 2 tries for Steve Bell, 2 tries for Thomas Bosch. And at the break, Catalan Dragons lead by 22 points to 10.